Hi everyone, welcome back once again on Fun Tissue. Myself, Faustina Ayam. So today I want to touch a topic that just began to fly, um, which is creating kind of panic in the community, and I want to allay your fears and help my people to understand that. See, what we need is information, knowledge, and people to be armed with the right, you know, understanding of the situation so that you can really protect yourself. So do not, in the media, in the mass media, it's being circulated now hugely, especially in the Western world, that Black people are more susceptible to coronavirus, COVID-19. That, I would tell you, is a disinformation. You know, do not take it to heart. Do not do not allow that to panic you or create fear in you. I'm gonna tell you this categorically that Black people are not susceptible to COVID-19. What has happened is this. Um, One, first of all, the survey that I saw, that the which they are using to base this, was done in about three cities in the US, which was they used about 2,000 patients to to do the analysis, and out of the 2,000 patients in the different cities, they have about 70% in Chicago, of Black people dying and all those kind of things. So what I want to tell you, when you say something is susceptible, that somebody is susceptible to something, that means there's a genetic issue that makes you to make that disease to bind to you. That is what I want to, you know um that is what I want to just help cut off from this narrative change immediately, because it has always been, anything that comes now, they would like to they like to put it on Black people, so that they so that they continue to have reasons for to widen their reasons for racism and discrimination and all this oppression against Black people. Now, what I want to do is, my aim here is to inform you so that we can learn how to protect ourselves, and we can learn what we need to do to be able to save lives in our community. Now, what has happened is, one is, majority of Black people who live in the US and in the UK are usually key workers, bus drivers, working in the supermarkets and in the hospitals, either as doctors, nurses, carers, cleaners, any all most of all those key work. And that is one point, one thing. Then secondly, we all know how far the oppression and segregation and all this pressure and things on Black community has been for a long time. Is a historic thing. And also, majority of Black people in these two countries, UK and America, are usually immigrants. If they are not descendants of slavery, they are immigrants. Most immigrants, when they immigrate to these countries, come completely empty-handed, and they'll start from from scratch to build themselves up. So there's a huge gap. There's a huge gap, economic gap, in the society, both from the oppression of the indigenous Black people and immigrant Black people. So these things now are what is showing up. Because I asked this question, why all of a sudden the narrative wants to change, and all of a sudden they want to push the story as said to say is a Black people infection or something like that. That is what I want any Black person anywhere to begin to get information, so that you can disprove and stand up for our image, because our image has been dragged for so long. Now, why is it that in Italy, are there no black people living in Italy? Why are they not predominantly dying there if we are susceptible to it? Are there no black people in Germany? Are there no black people in Spain? So at what narrative? Are there no black people in China? So how, at what point did it become, that more black people are more susceptible? Yeah, we are more predisposed due to our activities. We are predisposed to the infection, to be, we are more likely to be infected because of the social, what do I call it, social engineering, or social, not social, social something, I don't know, lifestyle. Now, apart from these two things which are structural, the next thing becomes misinformation, which began within the time when this virus outbreak came. um, there were a lot of stories out there on social media which so many people believed with their chest that black people, are have strong blood, hot blood, we cannot get coronavirus and all those kind of things. And so many people believed that. So what I'm telling you is, nobody, no race is immune to the virus, and no race is more susceptible to it. The truth is, if you stand in the way of fire, it will burn you. That is what is happening. So we need to begin to educate our communities. If you work if you are a key worker, and your employer has not provided you with enough personal protective equipment, then you have to make a decision to protect your life. Quit. Quit. It's only somebody who is alive that holds down their job. It's only somebody who is alive can make more money. We can endure hunger for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. We can cut down on our lifestyle to be able to save more lives. If you don't feel safe at your place of work, please quit. Quit immediately. Quit. So that you can save your own life, so that you can protect your family, so that you can come back to your loved ones. So now you can see that most of these key areas of services that are being used now, the most black people are not in the decision making table, are not in the boardroom when decisions that affect their lives directly are being taken. Therefore, you have to make your own decision to protect your own self. If you feel that where you work, the decision the boardroom or whoever has taken is detrimental to your life, then you have every right to quit your job. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's only somebody who is alive that can make money. So that's the third point. Now I've told you the job type, economic factors, and then I'm telling you now, what is the third one I said? The social factor now is gatherings. The other day I was reading and I found out that in America, this same America we are talking about, it's in Alabama or so, people were still dressed up going to the church gathering. People were still going for funerals. People were still going for birthdays and parties and all that. So it's very important that we drive the message home. Now, even as Christians, in the Bible, what does Passover mean? Have you read it? Thank God this is Lent. Today is a Good Friday. Go and read about the Passover. What was the instruction? So these are things we need to educate ourselves. And also the fourth one is religion. Religion. Religion has deceived so many people. Worshiping God is not really, religion is not worshiping God, or having faith in God is not religion. But we are allowing activities, religious activities, to dictate our life, dictate for us. People are not using their common sense. If the Pope himself can cancel all mass, all public activities, how much more yourself? Can't you pray in your own house? You allow all these pastors and priests and these people to deceive you, make you to come out and put your life at risk. And then when you come into so-called churches, you see the pastor is the only one who is safe. He is at the center of the altar. Nobody's coming close to him. He's safe. I'm not against you praying. I'm not against your faith. Pray to your God, use your faith, but then use your common sense. Even the Bible tells you that when all these storms are coming, hide. Everybody go in, hide yourself, let the storm pass over. So it's very important that we educate ourselves, educate our family members, educate our friends, educate our and stick to the advice of hygiene and washing your hands and staying indoors. Social distancing, isolate yourself. For now, end anything that has to do with crowd, end anything that brings you in contact with people who don't live in the same household with you. And if you're a key worker, ensure that you're provided with personal protective equipment. If you feel you are not safe enough at work, then it's more reasonable for you to quit and protect yourself. And then when this has passed over, then we can now take stock. If you die today, the money you're going for, you will not receive it. The appraiser you are looking for, you are not going to receive it. Your so-called manager or whoever supervisor is not going to, highest they will just say, rest in peace, and that's it. Life moves on. Your family, your children, whatever house, property that you're trying to, you're trying to make more money for, will all be gone. And then you self quarantine in the grave for eternity before your time. So this is very important. This touches my heart so much, and I've been reading this. I want every Black person to begin to say, we are not more susceptible to this disease, or this infection, or this outbreak started in China. It did not start in Africa. It did not start in any Black community. It's not a Black people disease or anything. So we need to dispel this disinformation that the mass media has begun to circulate, and create their fear, and fear mongering, and creating all this division. Is not true. So it's time for us to stand up. So let me recap again before we go. Now, first of all, we have majority of our people working in the key areas, key services, in the hospitals, in the shops, drivers, train drivers, and areas where you have contact with people all the time. If you are one of these people, if you work in these kind of places, then you must ensure that your employer provides you with adequate personal protective equipment. Two, if you're not in these key areas, then this is time for you to isolate. It's time for you to isolate. I don't know about other areas, but in the UK now, government has provided opportunity for you to be furloughed, so that your employer can pay you up to 80% of your salary while you self-isolate. If that is not happening, then you can resign. You can resign, or you call off sick, and then you can apply for universal credit until when after this goes away, then you can go back, look for a job, or go back to your job. It's only somebody who is alive that can get a job. Now, If you live in most some people, probably due to economic situation or something, might be living in an overcrowded situation. That I don't know how to address it. Then if you live in such situation, now you need to know how to manage the situation around you, manage yourself, at least practice your own self cleaning, and try as much as possible to distance keep a distance from whoever you're sharing flat or house with, even if it means that your spoon, cup, and everything, you put them inside your own bedroom, you put them away. Even if it means that if you need to use by yourself a pool or whatever, so that when you do your pool, you don't have to use the same toilet everybody's using, and you just have to pour it away. Just use common sense and see how you can distance yourself and try as much as possible to not have contact with anybody who is not who you're not sure of their movement. And then lastly, make sure you are eating adequate food. Eat good food, stop eating junk. Eat proteinous food. Eat things that are nutritious, food that are nutritious and good for your body. Some spices are good, ginger and all that. I'm not prescribing, I'm just giving you ideas, things that you can do to keep your immunity high. Have enough rest, drink water, and all that, because it pains me to see our men, a lot of men, of our black men, dying every day, dying in numbers in the US, and in the UK. Now, this pandemic hasn't really, come to Africa that much. So, my African brothers and sisters, who, if you live in Africa, please, this is time for you people to, get ready, prepare yourselves, and protect yourselves. Don't take this thing seriously. It's killing people. It is real. It is an infection. And this is not the first time the world is seeing pandemic. There has been pandemics. It's been happening. It happens from time to time. In fact, there are some that have killed millions of people worldwide. So don't think, you know, don't get yourself involved with a lot of information that are confusing. Your focus now should be, how do I protect myself and my family so that we can survive this storm. So once you have done all these things, keep your hands clean, wash your hands, avoid meeting people, avoid going to crowd, avoid any event or any burial, any baptism, any marriage, anything that will bring you in contact with a group of people that do not live with you, or people you don't know their movement. And then, if you have any funny feelings, if you think you are ill, raise alarm on time. Raise alarm on time. Raise alarm on time. If you don't have money, or if you don't have papers, there must be people around you who you can speak to, who can help you. So it's better for you to stay alive, it's better for you to swallow your pride and stay alive than, keeping your pride, and you end up without your pride in the grave. So please, my brothers and sisters, COVID-19 coronavirus is not a black people disease. It's not only targeting black people. It's only how we choose to, the lifestyle you choose, how you choose to, tackle the situation. That is how it will affect you. So all these um, social and economic situations that could predispose us to this infection, can we find a way to begin to tackle it? So thank you so much for listening. If you have any question, please leave it on the comment section, and remember to subscribe so that we can continue this chat. Thank you so much.